Hi, I'm Eleanor. Welcome to MotorMatters and to the wrap-up of our long-term extended test with the Toyota Starlet Cross. Recently launched during 2024, it is of course their smallest crossover in their range now, and it fills a very, very useful role as far as I'm concerned. Not going into the brother with another mother, but over here, it's a Toyota as far as I'm concerned. What it's got, of course, and this is the upper spec XR model. You get XS as the entry spec. You've got LED lighting. You've got, of course, your little spoiler effect down at the front. You've got those are your daytime running lights, of course. I don't think I need to explain to you. And you come around to the side over here, and you'll see the 16-inch wheels are now alloys on this one, whereas you only get hubcaps on the XS model. So it's little features like that you do get. Of course, you've got the cladding and the little bit of bright work down at the bottom over there telling you it's a crossover. And the roof rail, you can call it a roof rail over there in silver. And note, this is the two-tone version. In other words, you've got the black roof, which is an option, but I think it makes the car look pretty nice, pretty neat, and very much the coupe-esque. How's that for a word? Rear end over here, the very sharp downward slope at the rear end, down the C-pillar, things like that. That, of course, has become fashionable, I think, and makes the car look pretty neat and pretty funky as far as I'm concerned. Now, you'll notice both seats are set in more or less the same position, so I'm getting in not behind the driver's seat today. But look at this legroom at the back. I've got to tell you, that's pretty impressive. Headroom is okay-ish. I'm not going to say it's massive, but that is part of the coupe-esque lines you get where you do sacrifice a tiny bit. You do get two USBs at the back over here for the back seat, which is a nice feature. And you also get, of course, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, or I prefer using a cable, but you've got the option of which way around you want to do it, and that is there and works very, very effectively. You come around to the rear end over here, and you have a look. You've got the spoiler over the rear hatch, of course, that you expect all these things. The light bar across the back, LED lighting again at the rear end, and of course you've got the diffuser effect over there, the skid plate, just to make it look like a crossover all over again. Pop open the boot. You have to do it manually and you have to lift it yourself, but I'll live with that too. And you have got a full-size spare wheel for a change. That's nice, thank you very much. Makes a bit of a difference. Aeroplanes flying overhead. Now, of course, let's do the Allen test. A pretty high load lip. You'll notice there's quite a deep drop down to the loading area of the boot, so you've got to just worry about that maybe, because you'll have to lift cases over. But the depth also means there's more boot space, isn't there? So I'd rate this, and you'll see in the video where we loaded the car, this is probably about a 1.5 Allen boot. It's not bad at all. And of course you can drop the rear seats 2/3, 1/3. There is a parcel shelf. I took it out for purposes of loading the luggage, so don't worry about that. Now, both versions, XS and XR, are powered by, yes, the Suzuki engine. 1.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, 77 kilowatts, 138 newton meters of torque. This one with a 5-speed manual gearbox. You do get the option of a 4-speed auto as well. Choice is yours. I must say, it's such a light, easy manual to drive. I found no issues with it whatsoever. So let's see it on the road. Let's check it out inside. Okay, so if you want to know how much luggage the Starlet Cross can take in the boot, this is family luggage just fetched from the airport. And let me tell you, it's taken 2 big suitcases and how many small bags, all in the boot. So it's really not bad at all for a car of this category and this size. Pretty impressed. Right, well, we've got the Toyota Starlet XR. We've got it on an extended test period because it's the holiday season. This is an XR manual, so it's a 5-speed manual, 77 kilowatts and 138 newton meters of torque.
There are moments when you hit an uphill where maybe I'd love a little bit more power, but it's really not a big deal. And what's important is done 550 kilometers so far on this test, and I'm showing 6.5 liters per 100, having now done 150 odd K open road cruise and the rest of it urban driving. So I think that's pretty fair, and I'm quite happy with that. XR spec, of course, is the more luxurious spec. So it gives you the two-tone interior, for example, the maroon and brown. You either love it or hate it, but it's not important. But you've got that. You've got a nice big 9-inch touchscreen in front of me with wireless Android Auto, so you can see it's on maps at the moment, and that's nice as well. You've got your inductive charging pad down there, and because this is XR spec, it also gives you items like keyless entry, push button start, cruise control, auto on headlights, head-up display, which I'm not using at the moment, and one or two other bits and pieces that tell you it's the XR as opposed to the XS lower spec version, which is mechanically identical. So you know what I'm getting at, and well, you know, it's definitely got a lot of features for the price, for the money. The economy is good, but that's what you expect from this engine combination. You know it as an economical one, and that makes a big difference as well. We're going to we're going to live with this car for another month or so. This is week 1, and I think that 6.5 liters per 100 overall is a really, really good start. We're going to be showing you a lot more. Bit of Joburg rain coming over. There was a thunderstorm just now, but that's typical Joburg summer, holiday season, and well, we're just going to enjoy ourselves and enjoy the car, because I know it's just going to deliver everything that we want from it over the next month or so.
Something that's very clear about the Starlet Cross is the fact that although it's a lighter car, it's almost a contradiction in some ways, because it feels very, very solid on the road, very secure on the road, and almost like a slightly bigger car than it is while you're on the road. And that included, as you've seen in the video already, the time we spent on the open road on the freeway. And it really is a nice cruiser, more so than I actually was expecting, quite honestly. And I've got to put it that way. The gear shift is light, it's easy, it's a little bit clunky, but nothing wrong with that. The clutch, of course, is very light. Yes, you have to shift down occasionally with a 5-speed automatic, 5-speed manual, as opposed to the 4-speed automatic. And maybe some people, there's always that question about the revs on the freeway at 120. It revs at about 3,000. But, you know, this engine, yes, I know, the brother from another mother, we're not going to discuss that. It is a buzzy, revvy engine. And if you don't mind that, it certainly performs well. It does the job well at whatever revs. So overall, it's smooth, it's comfortable, it's relaxed. It does the job, and it does it really, really well. And it handles nicely. Look, it's not a sports car. You don't expect it to handle like a sports car, but it certainly handles very well on the road, is comfortable, smooth, and overall very, very impressive for what it is and for the money it comes in at. Jumping in behind the wheel, yes, that's the critical figure. Now, this is basically our final figure for the whole test. Done, 1,261 kilometers. It's dropped to 6.2 liters per 100. How's that? I like it. I'm impressed, and I think that's all that counts. So there you go, final figure for the test period. Now, you've got cruise control on this car. You can press there for the heads-up display or head-up display. I got told, not heads-up. So let's just leave it at that one. But I haven't used that. It's just one of those pop-up screens that comes up in front of you. So I haven't used that on this test at all. I must be honest with you. It's a case of what you want and what you want to do. Now, some of the differences between XS and XR spec. You've got the keyless entry and push-button start down there, okay? That's an important feature. The screen over here, which also includes nicely, and I say nicely over there, is when you go into reverse, You've actually got the 360-degree overhead camera as well as the reverse camera. So there you go. That's something you want to keep in mind. You can change the camera views over there. Look at that. That's on the left side of the car. It's all what you expect. It's become the norm these days. But again, at the level is the point I'm making. Your screen over here, I've got Android Auto connected, I'm sure you can see, but it gives you everything you want, everything you need, and that's the important things. Vehicle info over there gives you current time, etc. You can pick up everything you want. It really works nicely. You come down over here, you've got your automatic climate control, again, very effective, works nicely, and then lower down your USB and of course inductive charging pad XR feature as well, as opposed to the XS. I'm trying to point out differences between the two models, which I think is very, very important to potential buyers. 5-speed manual I've mentioned too. I've spoken about that. You do get the option of the 4-speed auto as well. Those are things only you can decide which one you want. Apparently, I was corrected by a few people that the contrasting color interior, the black with the maroon or burgundy color, is standard on both models, not just on the XR. So apologies for that if I got that wrong. I'm sorry about that. So those are some of the main differences between the two spec levels, because that's what really matters and that's what really counts. But the most important difference between the two spec levels, listen to this. 6 airbags on XR, only 2 on XS. Now that to me would probably make a big difference on my buying decision, quite honestly. And then, as I said, the keyless entry and push button start, that's another big feature. Cruise control as well. Those are the differences between the different spec levels that count. But that 6 airbags would be the one that would make a difference in my life. You get the dual color, the two-tone option, which you'll see outside. There's a difference in price. Now, I noticed during this test there seems to have been a price increase. And I want to just mention that because I quoted a price at various points during this test and then found out the price has gone up by about 9,000 Rand. According to what I looked up today and Googled, this XR manual is now 348,000 Rand, and it says that the XS is still 299. I want, just please go and check your Toyota dealer on that fact. It seems like quite a big difference between the two, and I would have thought the difference would have been smaller. But just check that out for yourself. But overall, spending an extended period with the car for a change as opposed to our normal 1-week tests has been a pleasure. I'm not discussing the differences between the two badges. You notice I refuse to go down that little road right now. You do get a 4-year, 60,000 kilometer service plan with this one. You get a 3-year warranty. I'm not saying any more about the brother from another mother. Let's leave that off the table for now. You can go and choose which brand you want, which dealer you want to work with, which one gives you a better deal maybe. Anything like that could be your deciding factor between the two. The differences in spec are small, but they are a few here and there. Anyway, not important. Overall, I'm saying this is a Toyota. It's got the Toyota badge, and forget the background, believe me, it lives up to the Toyota reputation in every single way as far as I'm concerned. For MotorMatters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.